Jey and Meka's channel. Jey and Meka's channel. Jey and Meka's channel. Jey and Meka's channel.
Especially in this day and age with the internet, you really have to be really strong because it's a lot. And you obviously see everything I go through publicly. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm still a human being. I'm still a person. I'm still a mother. You're a wife. So it's a lot to deal with. And it's a lot for my family to deal with. So I had to pivot on how I deal with things. I don't really see a lot of negative stuff. I don't follow a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of those people on my timeline. You know what I'm saying? And the people that do kind of come on in my comments on my page, I just block them. You know what I'm saying? Delete the comment, block them, or whatever the case it is. Because I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop bullying people.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's get into this book. All right. Let's go ahead and get into your book. So, first of all, why the title? Why did you choose that title?
Well, so I came up with the name on Love During Lockup. So as I'm getting ready to go to my premiere party, right? Here comes these articles, you know, like it was just calculated. So my first time on TV, first time to exposure like this, and I get these articles, like people are like tagging me and shit. I'm like, oh my God, it's a lot to deal with, you know? Bringing up my criminal history, you know, like all this other stuff. And it was like, whoa, not that I ever tried to hide it, but I don't just walking around like, hey, in 2012, I got this, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So everybody locally knows who I am, you know what I'm saying? To the whole world, and having strangers or different people just comment, it was a lot to me. So I said, you know, I went live and I'm like, it just came out of my mouth, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a stiletto wearing felon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not bragging. A lot of people think I'm bragging when I say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bragging. I'm owning my truth. And when I say stilettos is a form of women empowerment, okay? Whether you wear stilettos or not, okay? There's felons who wear Timberland boots, like they say in my comments, or they got Jordans or whatever it is. I wear stilettos. I like to wear heels a lot. So that's where it came from. And also, so just owning your truth and an empowerment. Because, and it's not just for females necessarily. I mean, there's men, obviously, there are felons as well. And once a felon, like, you're always one, whether it's your past, present, or even if you're currently going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? They segregate you. You know what I'm saying? It's a type of segregation, telling you where you can live, what jobs you can work, you know, just any and everything. Like, you're supposed to just shame, 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 shame. A lot of times people, when they have those felonies or criminal background or whatever the case it is, you know what I'm saying? They're kind of forced back into doing things that got them in trouble in the first place because they have been blocked by society from trying to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? It makes it harder whether you're successful or not. You have to have the right mind frame to work around those types of things. You know what I'm saying? So when I created Stiletto Wearing Felon, it's not just my book. It started off as a movement, actually. So I don't want any woman, you know, who's ever gone through any type of criminal background, criminal history, or even I've been through domestic violence, you know, single motherhood, and just a lot of shit I put myself through. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't let that shit, you know, hold you back. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold your head up high. And you could figure this shit out and move around, because a lot of that stuff, it puts a lot of weight on people. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they can't live in this type of house, or they can't have this type of job. And they, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the case. That's just what society wants you to think, okay? It's just like getting public assistance, okay? You can only get, on your food stamps, you can only get certain types of food. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a certain type of income. If you're in low income housing, you can't make over a certain amount. So you guys got to think about this. It's all about segregation. So with the LGBTQ community, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got tired of people fucking with them. Now they're a movement. You can't say a goddamn thing to them, okay? Or you're going to be canceled, okay? ASAP. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, people who are felons or got a criminal background, like, I'm not saying keep getting in trouble or anything like that, but I'm saying is own it, okay? Don't let nobody use it against you. And that is what it is, okay? Because once you own it, can't nobody use it against you, okay? F the fuck off.
So do you want to give just, I know we don't want to do a deep dive into the book, but just tell us a little bit about what's in the book. Like, what route did you
Yeah.
go?
So they start shipping this week. So if you ain't got your book yet or placed your order yet, go ahead and place it. But it starts off with my childhood. Okay. Typical autobiography. You're gonna learn about who I am. Okay. So you're gonna learn about my childhood, childhood trauma. I mentioned before about domestic violence, dealing with bullies, just going through life. But I went through a lot of shit as well. So probably more than the normal person would go through. Owning my truth, incarceration. So that's some stuff up in there too, about the times I was incarcerated. He's not the only one who's been to prison, okay? Me, meeting my husband, even though I don't go in full detail about everything because we're still under contract. So there will be a part 2, but you're going to definitely get a deep dive into my life and who the Stiletto Wearing Felon really is.
Okay.
Also, with the Stiletto Wearing Felon book, it's not just an autobiography, but it's an autobiography series. So I do have other women lined up who I'm going to write their stories for as well. So like I said, it's a movement. So you don't have to come out here. I ran into somebody who I was in prison with in 2015, okay? She got out, all right? And I just seen her and I just grabbed her hand. And she didn't know who the fuck I was, okay? But I remembered her, And she did a lot of time and I just told her about my movement and everything. And she just was like in awe because she was people are ashamed to admit that they've been in some type of trouble or whatever the case it is. They feel like they have to hide it, and just all this stuff. Like, you've already did your time on this shit, okay? Own it and move the fuck on. Don't let society keep you there.
Okay. So I got 2 questions actually. So 2 questions. One, I feel like I know the answer to it. I'm only asking this at this point because this is the question that I had ahead of time. Okay. I'm gonna ask you what you're going through, but I know part of it in the show was if something would have came or were to come in a negative manner from whatever cases, charges, whatever, how yourself and Keith will move forward with that. Just as far as not like specifically, but like making that work, do to it together for years prior to him getting out, and how that would possibly, if needed, and Lord willing, it's not, would never be needed, but in reverse.
You want him to go first or me?
Keith.
I'm tired of hearing you.
Well, we discussed it somewhat, but at the end of the day, I got her back. So whatever happens, I'm gonna definitely take care of it. I'm a provider too as well. So I'm a real deal head of a household, and that's my role, to be the father and be the husband. So that's what that is. So a lot of people, they be wanting to know the answers to that, but push come to shove, I hope it doesn't happen, and she don't have to be in that type of situation. But if something do happen, people will be able to see, because a lot of people, they like to count us out or thinking that I'm gonna get ghosts or this or that. That's nowhere near gonna happen, period.
Right. And that's why I asked that, because that's why I said I really didn't care to ask it, but I did, because just like I said, social media, seeing the show, but
it's a trending topic. Yeah.
That's really a lot of people that's from the outside looking in, people that really knows me, especially from where I'm from or that's been around me while I was incarcerated. They know how I move, they know how I carry it. Like, they don't want to get too in depth on that with me. It's just really what the show really want to put out there. But part of me and as my character, I'm a stand-up type of dude all the way around the board with that, With being a friend, with being a brother, with being a son, a husband, father, everything. You got to be able to have balance, and prioritize and everything. So, and this family, this household is my priorities, so whatever I need to do, I'm going to make sure I get it done.
That's a real man for you right there.
You can definitely read that, like, with you guys' relationship, just in general, like you can read that, so like kind of knew that was an answer, but it's just like that's a good thing because, like I said, God willing, that doesn't happen whatsoever. But it's not like, oh, you know, like no, like you can tell that you got a solid, you know what I'm saying, like and everything, and even watching the show, it's you know, like you said, sometimes they put stuff to where you can question things, but it's like, you know, just like as a man. You know, I don't know Keith, but just read him a little bit from the show. So I'm like, nah, he seemed like a solid dude. Like, so yeah.
Hell yeah! And then the show they gotta leave people in suspense or put certain things out there to twist things up, just to get a lot of attention out there to get people riled up.
Cause they talking.
And having people guessing or want to speculate, but they haven't been around. They see nothing, period. But even though they see it, they still gotta push certain things out there to get everybody going. So they'll definitely twist certain things up and keep people guessing.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's no speculation here. That's what I love about doing this interview because, you know, we see the comments too, and we put things on our page and we see the comments there. And it's just good to get it straight from y'all, like what your plan is, because then it can't be, you know, confused as anything else. Like people like to try to roll things into something. Now it's like set in stone. This is what it is, you know?
Crazy.
hey, and then it's so crazy because I'm not saying that it's gonna happen as far as her and her kids or her having to do any time. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, let's say push did come to shove and that did happen, and next thing you know, I step up the way I'm supposed to. They still ain't gonna let it go. You feel me?
Yeah.
And like, well, she probably just didn't do enough time. Now it's gonna be something else. One thing about it, I'm gonna pass every motherfucking test there is, so they can just keep them coming. So I feel like I'm in my own movie, you know what I'm saying? I'm the main character, and I'm fighting through every stage. I'm always come out on top.
The internet is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? I've tried to correct things or tell my truth about things and then turned around and see how it just brought more attention and people just want to still be negative. We live in a world now where people just want to be negative. That's what sells. You know what I'm saying? We're on a show that doesn't always show positive things, so it sells. So once you learn that and you understand how the media works, how the internet works now, it's easier to deal with things. I'd be like, okay, bye. You know, I just keep it moving. They'd be like, how is she like, they think I'm delusional. No, I just have a life to live and I'm not going to let y'all motherfuckers stress me out. Okay. I know what's going on in my life. Keith knows what's going on in our life. I know what's going on with my cases. Okay. Like nobody knows but me, the prosecutors, my attorney, my husband. Like, what the fuck? I know exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So you just let the internet talk, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, you know, why, I guess I want to ask this, but why are you such an open book? Like, you know, you're willing to really just tell your truth. Even when we approached you about this interview, you were like, ask what you want to ask. You know what I mean? And
yeah, because my thing is, I'm a real ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't disrespecting me, you know what I'm saying, then I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's my choice if I want to answer the questions or not, or how I want to answer them. Okay. I'm gonna be honest about the situation. And that's that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and hide any and everything. I'm gonna show you what I want to show you and what I don't want to show y'all. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a lot of people out here that do that. Like, I'm not fake at all. You know what I'm saying? So when it came back to like my criminal history, you know how they be posting like this like rap sheet? That shit. But
I just seen that motherfucker.
But
yeah.
Okay, well, let me clear that part up. Okay. They've been posting that shit for years. Okay.
Really?
So oh yeah, they've been posting that for years. They posted that shit before I even aired on Love During Lockup. And when they found out I was gonna be on the show. It's just some little fucking haters here in Quad Cities where I live at. So when you look at that, of course, it looks crazy, okay? But majority of that shit is like traffic tickets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a paralegal, so I'm gonna tell you how it works. Public record, go type your name in your county, okay? So the county that we live in, they don't delete shit, okay? So you're gonna see any and everything from whenever your name got put into some tickets I see shit from when I was 18. You know what I'm saying? That stuff stays on there until Iowa passes a law where it stays on only for a time frame. Right now, it's for lifetime. Most of that shit on that list is not even like real criminal shit. It's mostly traffic tickets, okay? And there's a code by each one. So you got traffic, okay? You got like small claims. So like if you got sued by somebody or like a landlord or things like that. And you got the felonies. The felonies are the FCRs, okay? So that's what the felonies are. And you got the misdemeanors. So people are just like, oh my God, like I'm like, shut the fuck up. Y'all don't even know what y'all talking about, but I can't even say it no more because people just want to believe what they want to fucking believe. They don't like to do their own goddamn research.
That makes no sense.
I wasn't out here thugging like that, y'all. I was getting caught driving out. A lot of tickets.
I have one question. So I think this was I meant to say this earlier. So there was only like one outside of the Stephanie question I asked earlier, right? There was only one other part of like contention, which curious after the clarity of it. So after you went to court, everything got cleared up. You guys went to, it looked like a little brunch type thing. And this is where the renewal of the vows situation had come out. And from my perspective, I don't know if it was a timing thing. I think from what I've seen, I don't know what you were thinking, Keith, obviously I'm not in your head, but I felt like Keith was like, hey, we just got past this. Let's take a minute. We'll do round. And LaTisha, like, I want to know why you don't want to renew the vows. And it just kind of spiraled a little bit, but in the end, it turned out.
Spiral. We're going to set it off in that bitch. What you mean? I just got out of court too? Got me fucked up.
But I understood what you were saying because you were like, we just signed a paper. That's what we did. We didn't get our opportunity to have like a ceremony or a celebration with our family and whatnot, which, you know, I could understand that. But yeah, that was enough. You know, you got to understand, we be in this house going back and forth about whoever.
Yeah, the shit hit the fan. Because it's like, he thinking wedding. I think that's what he was thinking, wedding. Because we haven't had a wedding either. I'm like, nigga, we ain't said our vows, okay? Like, we didn't say our vows, okay? So that's what it was. And it just kind of just blew up, you know what I'm saying? Irritated. And it was stupid, really. But I got my way.
I just felt like, a lot of things, it got to be the perfect time. And a lot of things that the work do, she like to go ahead first, and if it works. If not, I'll think about it after I done did it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type, I like to think around the board. You know,
So responsible.
I like to have balance. You know what I'm saying? And everything, that's one of my main key things. You got to be balanced. I don't like to just act off emotions and just move in the spur of the moment because this is going on. No, let's do this the right way. But at the same time, like she said, I thought it was more so of the wedding. You know, I'm a man, so I don't really know all the depth of the vow renewal stuff and all that stuff. You feel me? So this is my first time ever being married. You know?
And last.
Yeah, that too. But, yeah, everything definitely got out of control. She blew one. And then even with she told me that we haven't said the vows. I told her we could have waited once I came home, even when I was locked up. But, you know, the wife, she is how she is. So later on down the line, now you want to make a big issue about it, but we've been discussed certain things previously, you know? But I don't know.
I think it was when he was like, he didn't really remember proposing to me. That is what the fuck pissed me off. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how he proposed to me in Walgreens parking lot. He was on the phone. I was on the phone with him. I was at Walgreens in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, will you marry me? I was like, huh? He's like, quit playing with me. Tish, will you fucking marry me? So I mean, but I was like, yeah, I was excited, but then like, wait a minute, this ain't how you supposed to do it. But yeah, like, wait a minute, are we engaged? Like, that's how it happened. Yeah. That's how it happened. So how the fuck you don't remember saying, will you fucking marry me? What the fuck?
Yeah, you got tight then. I was just like, hold on.
I remember. I'll never forget it.
Okay. Well, I think. So question. So, cause I think the question we had, and thank you both for like, this really good conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it went even better than I imagined. Like, you got a really, really cool.
Yeah.
Just in general. So
Can I say one thing before you say that? I do want to touch on something without touching on something, okay? Because I am in court for this matter against a certain individual. I have a lot of people for the past few years approaching me about a very loud person on the internet. And without saying their name, you already know who I'm talking about. I have no criminal situation with this person
Okay.
whatsoever. It was actually debunked by the police about 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
So, yes. So, like I said, when you go on TV or some type of stature, you inherit certain people, and it's really crazy because the cases that I do have are actually with other people that are very fucking quiet. You know what I'm saying? You haven't heard a fucking peep from them. So this other person, I have people approaching me and thinking that this person has this with me, and that's never been the case, nor will it never be, you know? So I do talk about that a little bit in my book, you know, and then I got some other stuff that will be happening. And then I will be able to freely speak on the situation once it's over, because I did have to file, you know, lawsuit. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you cleared that up and just, you know, of your own voice, and that's great. Because, that's good.
It's not the case. Not the fucking case.
Well, so it's for clearing that up. And so outside, do you have outside the book, you and Keith, do you have anything you guys want to talk about? Anything, you know,
Yeah, you
that
want to
you want to
promote
promote or just, you know,
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna Keith's gonna say some stuff too.
Go ahead, your show.
No, baby, it's our show. Okay, so now I've always wanted to be an author. I've always wanted to write books. When I was younger, I used to write plays, you know, like in my school, I used to write like little short stories. So to actually be able to do this finally and start my own publishing company, which is Hustle Publishing. So I publish as well. I like to be the boss. Okay, that's just what it is. I don't want a middleman, none of this. Let's do this because we can do this and save a lot of money, okay? But it's not just me who's been an author. Stiletto Wearing Felon is not going to be the only book. We do have some prison novels coming out, okay? So once you buy the book, once you receive your book, you'll see some of the stuff that's coming out. Me and Keith are going to be writing some of these books together. So it's just good to have, you know, a man's point of view who's been through it, and then a female's point of view who's been through it as well. And then our children, my daughter Kira, she actually already has her book written. It's been written for a while, so we're just working on the illustrations, and then so she's got, you know, some of that coming out. And we've been talking with our other kids to see if they want, you know, to produce their own books, whether it's novels or just anything, journals and stuff like that. So just really trying to build some generational wealth for our children, you know what I'm saying? Just having things constantly come through, you know, use their imagination and everything. And Keith, I know, is in the process of writing his book as well. What?
Yeah, basically mine is more so about a lot of things that help me in my life, as far as in a lot of principles that I apply in my day-to-day living that be able to help me out. So it's a real good positive book, you know, and then it'll be able to give you a deeper outlook on how to balance things out in your life.
Okay. Nice. Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. So just our last question, is there anything else that if you did touch on that you're comfortable with clearing up, or that you know, anything like that you want to talk about?
I still plan on going to law school, so I know a lot of people hating on me about that. They think, once again, because you have a felony or going through shit. I didn't say I was going to be an attorney right now. Okay, I got shit going on right now. I ain't even started law school. So obviously it wouldn't be now. There's always a process to stuff, okay? But you would be surprised how many attorneys have had criminal backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is the law allows you a certain time of redemption, you know, to have that short rehabilitation and things like that to be able to move forward. Okay. So that's still something that's in my near future, and I'm determined about it because I've been through it. I lived through it. I put myself through some shit, you know what I'm saying? So, but I am a fighter as well. So that's just definitely something I definitely am still looking forward to getting. I can't wait to post that I got accepted to law school. So once I get this stuff cleared up, then, you know, things will get in motion.
Okay. Nice. Perfect.
So that's it, y'all. That's all we had, for you guys, and we do really appreciate y'all coming
Yeah.
up here. And
We appreciate
Taking
y'all
it-
for allowing us to come through.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time and allowing us to be on your platform.
Oh yeah, of course.
And you guys
Yeah,
seem like an amazing couple. How long have you guys been married? Okay, never mind.
yeah. Let's answer that question. Now,
My bad. I ain't being sorry.